Cowardice fascists and billionaires have done it. They are starting the erosion of free speech, and all autocracies, all dictatorships, they start with comedians. It might seem like it's not that big of a deal, but it is a big effing deal, you guys. Seth, let's start with the first tweet. Midas Touch is reporting that ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely following comments he made in the wake of Charlie Kirk's murder. Now, that's the excuse they're using, all right? Trump's FCC chair, Brendan Carr, earlier appeared on MAGA propagandist Benny Johnson's show and threatened to revoke ABC and Disney's broadcast licenses if they didn't take action against Kimmel. This is not cancel culture. This is coercion. This is bullying. This is a direct attack on free speech. And let's just see what this comment is. What did Jimmy Kimmel say that has the rubes and the cowardice billionaires so riled up? Play the clip.
Some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a...
Okay, this is what's important to understand about strong men. They have very thin skin, and a way that their reputation of being so strong and they're just such great guys gets eroded by comedians making these casual jokes. It's very obvious here that Kanks could have given two shits about this whole thing. This is MAGA's Reichstag fire. That's what this is. They are using this to erode civil rights, and they are saying, you can't call us fascists. You can't call us fascists. You started this. The fact of the matter is they are fascists, and this is a fascist move that dictators use, and it cannot stand in the United States of America. Period. These billionaires are cowards. They are bending over for this weak, demented man who could give two shits about Charlie Kirk getting shot. He's way more into his ballroom.
My thought was, what did Jimmy Kimmel say that wasn't true? Where was the lie? The reality is Donald Trump was asked how he was doing, and he talked about his ballroom. Those are facts. If the right wing's going to be mad at Kanks.
Well, it really, he has been gunning. Kanks has been gunning for comedians for a very long time because he is such a weak person. He is not self-deprecating. He can't laugh at himself. And we could all sit around and praise him. Everybody in this country, everybody in the world, and he would still be broken, which leaves me to the question, why are these billionaires obeying? The number one rule to fighting this is you don't obey in advance. And when this gets taken to the courts, you guys, it's undefeated. But these billionaire corporations are playing this short-term game. If you think there might not be an economic impact in this, you're mistaken. Once you start eroding civil rights and you start eroding the courts, investors flee, the currency falls, and we're already starting to see this happen. Chinese investors are not buying soybeans anymore. We're seeing the dollar drop. So for all of you fiscal conservatives that get your panties in a wad because somebody called you a fascist, look in the mirror because you're a fascist that supports fascists. Next up, Brian Stelter texted FCC chairman about this. And he says, I asked FCC chair Brendan Carr if he had any new comment now that ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel's show, and he sent me this GIF. This is so immature. These are these emotionally stunted, broken people. And this guy, Brendan Carr, at one point, he has a whole Twitter history of having clarity about the First Amendment, of having clarity about government overreach. And like Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz and all of these others, the minute they cave to Kanks, the minute they do it the very first time, they become worse and worse and worse. And then their whole identity is everything they do it for an audience of one, a weak dictator who lies about his height, who lies about his weight, who has about 4 or 5 of his greatest hits that he rolls out in speeches. We're the hottest country ever. Everybody's talking about it. Hannibal Lecter. This is no leader. He's far more interested after the whole country, no matter what you saw, no matter what you think about Charlie Kirk, we all saw him get violently shot. And he immediately directed the press to talk about his vanity project, the ballroom. It's unbelievable how many people surrounding this man are just so morally bankrupt, and how the minute you capitulate to him, you become worse and worse and worse. And this doesn't just happen in the administration. Think about the MAGA people around you in your lives. Think about how much they have progressively gotten worse with the capitulation to this horrible man.
What worries me about this, I mean, there are so many things, but the reality is these billionaires and Donald Trump and JD Vance, they never think Trump is going to leave because they are not playing. What if the next administration was Democratic and they took away free speech from Republicans? They're not thinking that way because I don't think they ever think he's going to leave.
Number one, JD Vance knows he's going to leave, and I think he's jockeying for that position right now. And I'm going to dive into that in another episode. And I think other players like Peter Thiel surrounding JD Vance are abundantly aware that this guy is 80-something years old, in poor health, and quacking like a duck. And so they have to move quickly to have all of the power consolidated in the executive branch as quickly as possible, to where if there were a medical emergency, that the cult support doesn't matter as much, because then the coup has already taken place. And that's what's happening right now. And here is Kanks in July predicting this. The word is, and it's a strong word at that, Jimmy Kimmel is next to go in the untalented late night sweepstakes, and shortly thereafter, Fallon will be gone. These are people with absolutely no talent who were paid millions of dollars for, in all cases, destroying what used to be great television. It's really good to see them go, and I hope I played a major part in it. So this was in July, okay? And then this was yesterday. Great news for America. The ratings challenged Jimmy Kimmel show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, 2 total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. President DJT. They were frothing at the mouth, sitting, waiting for a moment to do this. They bullied, and I'm going to get into an episode that we're going to drop 3 hours from this one, into the billionaires and the structure and their MAGA support that enabled this coercion and this bullying to happen. But this is not cancel culture. This is fascism. This is what they do. And historically, they start with comedians, because the strong man's ego can't handle it. And all of those that surround the strong man do everything they can to keep that image upheld. Comedians flippantly talk about, oh, well, let's see how badly he's grieving. And these jokes that even people on the right and the left kind of chuckle at. They have to keep the image that he's so strong up. And now I want to take you to Hassan Piker, a tweet online here. They're not going to stop with Jimmy Kimmel. So Zach Boosie tweets, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, Republican from Kentucky, a total piece of shit fascist, okay, invited the CEOs of Discord, Steam, Twitch, and Reddit to testify on the radicalization of online forum users. Hassan Piker, who is the biggest left-wing Twitch streamer, as I think the word, in the country, says Twitch is not a factor in the Tyler Robinson investigation at all, and yet they want to bring the platform into the story. There is a sinister reason, and I think you all know what it is. They will not stop with this Jimmy Kimmel, you guys. It will keep going and going and going, and you can look no further than history to understand that. So you have to realize at the same time that they're silencing these comedians, they're silencing history, they're banning books, they're attacking universities, because this is the playbook.
This is so stunning because it's happening in the United States and nobody ever thought it could happen. And it's happening because Donald Trump has hurt feelings. And here's the thing, if they really wanted to get rid of online extremism, they would start with Elon Musk and Twitter or X.
They don't want to.
But they don't want to.
They don't want
They only
to
want
do
to
that.
silence one side.
And now I want to go through the importance, how important historically it is right now that they're going after comedians. Put up the first slide. Why comedians are a threat. Undermining authority with ridicule. Authoritarians depend on fear and respect. Comedy, by turning leaders into punchlines, strips away their aura of power. Wide reach. Comedians can connect with audiences who might not read political analysis or dissenting news. Subversion in coded form. Jokes can slip past censorship more easily than direct criticism, making them a subtle form of resistance. The next slide. Historical examples. Nazi Germany. Cabaret comedians and satirists were among the first to be arrested or silenced. Jokes mocking Hitler were criminalized. The Soviet Union, political jokes called anecdote circulated underground and people were sometimes imprisoned for telling them. Chile, satirists and cartoonists faced censorship or exile because their work challenged the regime's image. And the last one, recent and modern examples. Russia. Under Putin, comedians who mock the regime often face censorship, bans from TV, or pressure to leave the country. Turkey, President Erdogan has repeatedly used defamation laws against satirists and cartoonists. China, stand-up comedy and online satire are tightly monitored. Comedians have even been fined or barred from performing for crossing political lines. Egypt, there's a guy named satirist Bassem Youssef. He's sometimes called the Egyptian Jon Stewart, was driven into exile after mocking the government. This is not cancel culture. It is fascism. It is straight up fascism. And I want to remind you all of this. The Black community has always been on the forefront of fighting for equality, civil rights, and democracy, always. And when Target canceled their DEI, the Black community organized and their sales went down, their stock plummeted, and the CEO in charge of this rebranding got fired. So I urge all of us, and we all have our little lives. And here's the thing, fascism is kind of the split screen. All this talk about fascism, but then you're living your life. All of a sudden, they're combined. That moment is now. Cancel Hulu, cancel Disney Plus. That's the cancel culture. This is fascism. And the billionaires are not going to save us. The Democratic leadership doesn't seem like they want to save us. We have to save ourselves. We need to organize online because they will be coming for YouTube too. It's coming. All of this is coming. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you also engage with other pro-democracy channels online. Stay engaged. Do not descend in denialism. This is a moment. Call them what they are. They are fascists, and we are here to resist this fascist regime every step of the way, because we're not losing the United States of America to fucking kanks. Cankles make taco tits. Are you kidding me? 250 years of this country and we're going down the toilet for that sack of shit? No, we're not doing it. Subscribe and we'll see you all later.